outside again. Thankful for life and the joy that it brings. Pray to God that today never ends. Holding the vibe with me friends, and we out here, sweet soca playing. With every hand now we fetting away. Don't give a damn what nobody say. You could be friend or enemy. Just keep on doing what you wanna do. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Could do whatever, I don't really care. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Cause we out here boys, Shelly, drinks, plenty moving like family. Vibes, Shelly, drinks, plenty bad mind, keep your energy. Cause we out here boys, Shelly, drinks, plenty moving like family. Vibes, Shelly, drinks, plenty bad mind, keep your energy. Yeah, cause when I out on the road, nothing can stop me, I don't want go home. The drinks got me in full beast mode. I beg the bartender for more, so please bad boy, keep your gun on your waist. The only shots is the drinks to my face, and I don't care what nobody say. You could be friend or enemy. Just keep on doing what you wanna do. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Could do whatever, I don't really care. Just don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. Just don't kill my. Cause we out here boys, Shelly, drinks, plenty moving like family. Vibes, Shelly, drinks, plenty bad mind, keep your energy. Cause we out here boys, Shelly, drinks, plenty moving like family. Vibes, Shelly, drinks, plenty bad mind, keep your energy.
Greetings, 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 and salutations, one and all. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stewart. It's Real Talk Night. Happy Hump Day to you. Want to say big ups to each and everyone locked in right now. Those on TuneIn Radio. On the night shift with DJ Kevin Stewart. Much love to you. Much love to those locked in out of New Jersey. NIE Radio with New Jersey's finest, the Motivator. Remember, you can catch him live Thursday night, Double Trouble Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. And on Saturdays, for Motivation Saturdays at noon. Blessings, the Motivator. Be nice, you good? Much love to the massive out of Long Island, New York. Man locked in with DJ Atomic Force and the crew on Reggae Pulse Radio. Much love to you guys up there. Hope you're keeping warm.
Cause when I out on the road, nothing can stop me, I don't want go home. The drinks got me in full beast mode.
Much love to those who are locked in on the Foundation Radio Network, ClintonLindsay.com.
Keep your gun on your waist. The only
holding it down in South Florida. Blessed Earth Day, it's Mr. Lindsay. Here's to another trip around the sun, sir. Big ups to those on PEMGTV.com. Welcome, welcome. Those on Zeno FM. Those hanging out on Clubhouse. Greetings and salutations to you. Those on the Facebook Live. Those on YouTube Live. And of course, those right here at the home of the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment. So glad to have you. Couldn't do it without you. You have my word, I wouldn't even try. The sound of Thalia kicking off things in the background.
And I'm outside again. Thankful for life and the joy that it brings. Pray to God that today.
I want to say thank you to my segment sponsors. Pulse Media Group, and being a moment is priceless. Go ahead and get them a call. They can do everything you see here on kevinstew.com and more. They'll take care of your videos, your photos, your streaming, your ads. They can host your website if that's what you need. They host mine. They can also give you the opportunity to stream that event that you're having live on a secure platform, whether yours or theirs. So whether it's a church service, a funeral, a wedding, a party, a graduation, a seminar, you name it, they can hook you up. Give them a call, 754-999-1140. That's 754-999-1140. Tell them you heard about them on the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. I want to say thank you to Althea and her Healing Heavenly Hands. Althea SU is a licensed massage therapist operating out of Broward County, North Miami-Dade and South Palm Beach counties. She comes to you, bringing her table, her oils, and over 20 years massage therapy experience. Go ahead and give her a call and schedule her appointment today, 954-655-9000. That's 954-655-9000. She only has one request outside of paying her. That is, you get off her table and go sleep somewhere else when she's done. It's called the Kevin Stew clause. Because I'm always falling asleep on that table, I can tell you. You will too. I want to say thank you to Reggae Global Entertainment. Reggae Global will act as your booking agents, handle your tour management, take care of your business registration, legal service referrals, music production, marketing and promotion, and much, much more. Go ahead and give them a call today, 954-804-8199. That's 954-804-8199. Or check them out online, reggaeglobal.com. Tell them Kevin Stew sent you. I want to say thank you to McNeil Trucking. McNeil Trucking is a veteran-owned, licensed, insured mover in the state of Florida. So you want to move from the Keys to Jacksonville, from Naples to Palm Beach, from Pompano to Pensacola, and any point in between. Want to put some things in storage, don't have the manpower, don't have the transportation? Don't worry. You have the name, you have the number. McNeil Trucking, 954-406-9740. That's 954-406-9740. Tell them you heard about them on the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew. They'll be glad to know it. Inviting you all to call a friend, tell a friend. Friends of your friends, friends of your enemies, enemies of your friends, and your enemies too. Because what we do here is good for everybody. The phone lines are open. You can call, you can text, WhatsApp, Telegram on 773-789-STEW. That's 773-789-7839. You see the number scrolling across the bottom of your screen, those of you who are watching. Yeah. Those of you who are listening, I'll tell you once more. 773-789-7839. And tonight, we're talking about winning and loving, well, lovable personalities. Do you have any of those kind of personalities? How do you know? Do people like you at all? You ever wonder? You know, there are some people that you just don't like. In Jamaica, we say his spirit just don't take them. You know, you just don't like them. You just see them. You don't know them. You just see them, and all of a sudden you don't like them. There, people like those exist, and you know, it's no fault of your own. You know, I can't even blame you for it. want to, before I get deep down in this, I want to remind you, you can participate by way of the stew pot. Those of you who know what the stew pot is what others call a chat room. But because we're fancy over here on kevinstew.com, we call it the stew pot. It's our interactive portal where we keep things interactive and bubbling. Just go to kevinstew.com and you are there. You don't need to register, you don't need to offer your firstborn an internal organ or a blood sacrifice. Just go to kevinstew.com. You can remain anonymous. You can put your name so I know who I'm interacting with. You know, make it a little bit more personal. We just ask that you keep it respectful and don't kill our vibes. Tell ya. A track called Don't Kill My Vibes. Hey Pat, how you doing? You make some cornmeal porridge? Really? And you added blueberry muffins. Seriously? And you didn't leave any for me. I hope you ate for two. You ate yours and mine. Because then I'd really be upset. Ah, boy. I don't know. So, Pat, you're saying you don't have any of those personalities. You don't have a winning personality and you don't have a lovable personality. Are you sure? You know, even some brilliant people suffer from personality and suffer professionally and personally from a lack of a likable personality. So, Pat, if you don't have any of those personalities, don't feel bad. You know, there are some very famous people that are very much like you. And then you have those people that really don't care that they don't. So, but if you do care and you want to, as the book says, win friends and influence people without sacrificing your integrity, then you might want to pay attention to what we're talking about tonight. I know you're a cool person, Pat. I don't know what you are talking about, but I know personally that you're a cool person. Even if you make porridge, cornmeal porridge at that, and thought, well, if you thought about me, then that's enough. It's a thought that counts. So, what are some of the things that you can do in order to have or develop a winning personality? You know, I hope you're taking notes because it's something that you might want to remember. If you don't, that's fine. You can go back to the podcast. You can go back to the YouTube right here on kevinstew.com and you can get the information all over again. But according to Psychology Today, some things you could do. You could maintain eye contact, just like I'm doing now. If you're listening on any of the radio affiliates, then you won't see it. Then to get in the habit of doing it, early in conversations, take note of the person's eye color. Now, many of us are intimidated by eye contact for whatever reason. Don't be. You know, they have eyes just like you. They're people just like you. Go ahead and look them in the eye. And just keep it moving. So, but a good practice to get into doing that, if you're not wanting to do it, as soon as you start talking to the person, look them in the eye and note their eye color. That will help you to be able to go back to that point. Have good posture. We ridicule the past deportment schools in which people were trained into good posture by walking with a book on their head, their shoulders back, their back straight, head facing straight ahead, while somehow managing to look relaxed. But shallow, lookist species that we are, yes, that's how we're described. The shallow, lookist species that we are, the person with that kind of posture is generally viewed as more likable. Can you imagine? Walking upright, shoulders back, head straight, not looking frumpy, Yeah, you are somehow more likable. How do you do it? How do we do it? Mm. Yeah, man, I'm claiming it. It's like crossing your arms. That can be distancing. You know, as I said, when you cross your arms as you talk with someone, you're kind of blocked off. You're blocking yourself off. You are defensive in some kind of a way. So don't cross your arms. Remain in an open kind of posture. Um, does eye color make them evil? No. Which eye color though? Which eye color are you considering to be evil? Because we have various eye color people around, and some people we wear contacts. So depending on the eye color that you consider to be evil, if those people wear the contacts of those eye colors, then you're saying that they're intentionally wanting to be considered as evil. What you saying? What you saying, Pat? What you saying? Blue eyes, green eyes, hazel eyes. Talk to me. Aim for conversational balance and not self-absorption. Now, older people tend to criticize the Gen Zers and the millennials as self-absorbed. Well, I'm not too sure why. Most people of all ages tend to be self-absorbed. So I don't know why it is that the older generation will look, the baby boomers will look at the Gen Zers and the next geners as self-absorbed, when we all pretty much do the same things. And if that is what we do, then we had to learn it from someone. Those who fall in the more recent of categories, that is. As Rabbi Hillel said, if I'm not for myself, who will be? But if I'm only for myself, what am I? And, that is something to keep in mind. You have to be your cheerleader first before you can cheer on someone else. And that is usually a good starting point, because then you'll know when others are cheering you on too. You get to recognize it from experiencing it, of course. Achieve, but usually without making others feel less than. That's another thing you can do. Most people are powerfully motivated to not feel inferior or embarrassed. So, while you should, of course, strive and achieve, there's a benefit to sharing achievements with others. For example, impressing your boss needs to be weighed against the risk of antipathy. What a show off could end up being the narrative when you leave. Or she or he is just making their feelings, masking their feelings of insecurity. And that too is another one, because you are presenting your achievements. So it's a balancing act. They pretty much all are, because you do a little bit too much of any of them and you come off as overbearing and not very likable. However, you do it just right and you're winning. You remember that? Show moderate confidence. Rarely will you want to exude pervasive self-doubt. Things like, I'm such a loser. On the other hand, demonstrating lofty self-confidence will too often be seen as not credible or make the other person feel inferior. See the balance? Which, like we said, usually causes antipathy, if not retribution. As with most things, moderation is usually right. When you're confident about an assertion, it's okay to say, as an example, I'm pretty sure this is wise, but what do you think? And when you're not confident, it is okay to say, I'm just not a good public speaker. Despite trying, my talks are too discursive, and if I script them, then they're sterile. So balance. I like that though. I like that. I think I'll adapt that one or not. Um, Judge, but usually without expressing it. No, all right. So this one is a little bit tricky because we're always taught don't judge or to not to judge, and we're always told don't judge me. So the this one can be a little bit tricky because they're telling you, hey, go ahead and judge, but don't say it. So keep it to yourself. It's absurd, yeah, that we denigrate people for being judgmental. Discernment is core to good decision making. What to buy, whom to vote for, donate to, hire, or befriend. But the wise person consciously decides whether to voice judgment, especially about or your conversation partner. Let's say you think your conversation partner's self confidence widely exceeds his or her competence. You must weigh the advantages of shaking the person from undue complacency against the likelihood of resentment and even retaliation. So bring them back down to earth gently. There's a lot of good young people. We must remember we were young too. Comments here on the YouTube live. Older people need to older people need to lead and not criticize young people. Even if you accumulate wealth, one should be humble at all times and don't exalt themselves above anyone else. Exalting themselves could catch up with them in karma. Oh yeah, true karma. And that woman, ooh, karma. She is a people can extend kindness, can go along. People can extend kindness and go along way. Oh, and go a long way. Never judge a book by its cover. True that. True words. True words. Default to the positive. Now, you have some negative Nancy's out there. This one is going to take a whole lot more work for them. So default to the positive. Many Europeans look down on Americans. They're with their insistence on optimism over realism. But when in Rome, then you do as the Romans do. When in America, you try to do as the Americans do. Of course, there are times to be negative and to criticize. And even in the US, people roll their eyes at Miss America Pollyannism. And improvement does not come mainly from suggestions for improvement. But when the ratio of your negative to positive comments exceeds 1-to-1, you risk being liked as well. Now, default to a pleasant expression. You see the smile? Yeah. Default to something like that. This is a corollary of the previous suggestion. So, the plastered, exaggerated contextuality, inappropriate salesperson's smile is disingenuous, worthy of rolled eyes. But if wearing mild pleasantness on your face doesn't come naturally, it may be worth the effort to make that your default and to look for opportunities to legitimately smile. So, if you need to practice, find a reflective surface and practice. If you are smiling and that is not your go-to thing to do, but you're doing it and your face hurts, you might need to practice a little bit more. Definitely use that reflective surface and see if you can get it right. Moderate speaking pace, volume, pitch, and use of hands is something that you want to incorporate also. We claim to celebrate diversity, but often it's not true, including regarding comportment. People who speak more quickly or slowly than average are generally disliked. Some, when you use, it's the same thing with volume or the use of hands and pitch. And of course, you have only modest control over your voice's pitch. But aim for the bottom of your voice's natural range. Don't sound gravely, you don't want to go down there unless you're Barry White, and that works for him. And the ladies tend to typically like that deep sounding man's voice. They tend to like it for some reason. I don't know. Ladies, why? What is it about a deep voice that you ladies like? Those of you who are listening in right now, drop me a line, shoot me a message. Let me know. 773-789-STEW, drop me a text. Or comment in the Stew Pot or here on YouTube. I'm missing some comments on Facebook Live. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Dora. How are you guys down there in Brazil? Much love to my Radio Crystal Gospel family down there in Brazil. Much love to you, Dora. It's been a minute. I am well. Blessings to you also, my sister. So good to hear from you. We're going to take a quick little break. But before I do so, let's check out the YouTube comments here. We must not follow the Europeans. Many of our people have lost their humanity and Pan-Africanism of hospitality. We must not be like other nations. We are not them. We can and should do better than them. Look at that. Encourage them, Pat. Encourage them. America changed a lot of our people. We need to get back to African hospitality. Funny thing about African hospitality versus American hospitality. To get hospitality or to recognize hospitality in America, it's usually referred to as Southern hospitality. Crazy. It's referred to as Southern hospitality, but in the days of slavery, people escaped from the South to the North for freedom. But refer to that open door, warm heart, pleasant smile, hug, that as Southern hospitality. You ever thought about it? Whoever coined that phrase, Southern hospitality, anyway? A couple more to go on learning how to be lovable. But I'll get to them after we come back from the break. During the break, we're going to part company with those on Facebook Live, those on Clubhouse. But don't worry, the broadcast continues right here at the home of the night shift to DJ Kevin Stew, kevinstew.com. We're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment. It also continues with the affiliates. So if you're listening in by any of the affiliate stations, you don't need to go anywhere. If you want to watch and see my pleasant face, hey, I get to use that line tonight. Please come to kevinstew.com. 2 ways to watch: by way of the player that is embedded or the YouTube player that is also embedded. So you can watch either way. And then you can share it with your friends so that they can join, if you have friends. Not everybody does. But share it with your enemies. Friends of your friends, friends of your enemies. Share it with everybody. Do get your copy of the book as we are jumping off into the break. Please pick up your copy of the book. It's called Empowered: Essential Concepts and Strategies Every Woman Should Know About Self-Defense. It's authored by Jonathan Field and narrated by yours truly, Kevin Stew. Yes, it's available right now on Amazon, on Audible. And if you go to kevinstew.com, This is a quick and easy way for you to get the book, the audio book. Go to kevinstew.com and you'll see an image of the book. Click on it. It takes you straight to where you would get your download. Empowered. Essential concepts and strategies every woman should know about self-defense. Get it. Yo, Marlon, how you doing, bro? Welcome to the broadcast. Marlon is Reggae Global Radio's general manager. He hosts Real Rockers with Marlon on Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Check him out. He's a walking, talking reggae music encyclopedia. Check him out. He's really cool. Blessings, Marlon. So Marlon says the term was clearly coined in the U.S., a Southern hospitality thing. Yeah, I get that. But who? Who in the U.S.? Was it those who were escaping from the South to go to the North? Or those that lived in the North that saw... Yeah, who were they calling hospitable, though? That's the question. We'll be right back after these messages.
Pulse Media Group, innovative streaming and recording, has done it again. A new way to get your business in full view of your neighborhood consumer through AdShare TV. It's available in your neighborhood today. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. Become a host today and place a TV monitor in a strategic location so it's easy to see. Get a 1-minute video ad or longer that plays anywhere in our network. Can't be a host? No problem. For a few dollars, we'll run your 30-second video ad. A host can run announcement specials like buy one get one free or discount ads. Let's turn your flyers into a 30-second video with music or a voiceover, or let us create and run your video ad with a spokesperson. Take advantage of our early enrollment discount. Join us today. Your ad will be seen at least 30 times per day in your AdShare TV neighborhood. It's easy. Just call us 754-999-6020. AdShare TV, part of Pulse Media Group.
Today in school, a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in physics, I learned that I'm a loser.
Today in school, I learned that I'm ugly and useless. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. In history, I learned that I'm trash.
Today in school, I learned that I have no friends. In English, I learned that I make people sick. And at lunch, I learned that I sit on my own because I smell. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me.
In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. And in math, I learned that I'm trash.
The only thing I didn't learn in school today...
The only thing I didn't learn today...
The only thing I didn't learn...
is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Ladies, lovers of the music, it is here, the brand spanking new album from Ed Robinson and Ian Sweetness, a tribute to Teddy Pendergrass. Amazing. 10 blazing tracks, 2 amazing singers going hit for hit, classic for classic. A tribute to Teddy Pendergrass, Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson. Oh man. It's out now. Available everywhere. iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your music, it is there. A tribute to Teddy Pendergrass, brand spanking new, Ian Sweetness, Ed Robinson. Ladies, gentlemen, you've got to have this in your collection. Get it now. Available everywhere. Bruv, my last baby already gone off to college, mate. Is what this is send come gimme, man. Is a big album still, I love it. Big up Ed Robinson, Ian Sweetness, but this better come with a contraceptive.
Hey, I'm representing for DJ Kevin Stew, working on the night shift radio show. Won't go changing like the just to please the devil never. Will DJ Kevin's Stew sell his soul? That's a word and honor. It's Christine representing word and honor. Still I say DJ Kevin's Stew.
I can tell that you love me by the way you're looking at me. Girl, the feeling is mutual, 'cause I love you the same way, and I love you so much. I don't care what people say, it's complicated, 'cause you got your man, girl. I just know that I want you, same way you want me. Baby girl, come over, wanna be your lover. Got some things to show you, got some things to show you. Wanna give you pleasure, searching for your treasure. I could be you, I could be you, everything you want. I could be you, I could be you, I could be you. Tonight I will forgive you of everything you've done, yeah, in your past. Tonight I'll be your preacher, baby. You give me your undivided, undivided, and I'll relieve all your stress, baby, with my forgiveness, my forgiveness. I just wanna give you everything that you've been searching for, baby. All you gotta do, baby girl, come over, wanna be your lover. Got some things to show you, got some things to show you. Wanna give you pleasure, searching for your treasure. I could be you, I could be you, everything you want. I could be you, I could be you, I could be you. I know how to treat you right. Just tell me yes, tell me yeah. I'll be all you want. Girl, just come on over, spend the night. It'll be the best, be the best. All you gotta do, baby, just come over. Let me be your lover. I can give you pleasure, I can give you pleasure. I will be your savior.
The sound of Enzo bringing us back from the break.
I'll forgive your sin.
A track called Come Over.
You're everything. Baby girl, come over.
So Pat says, listen, even the early Jamaicans had this awesome hospitality. The ones now, they're so aggressive. You know, whatever happened to the people of yesteryear that were warm and welcoming? Well, I guess it's the influence, Pat. It's the influence on Jamaica. You know, nowadays if America sneezes, Jamaica catches a cold. So if we're going to say that Americans tend to be less hospitable, but yet still you got that southern hospitality thing going on, so you can't say all Americans. You know, it's and then you're in New York. You know, what can I say? You're in New York. I think that speaks for itself. So, a few more tips on how to have a winning personality. Listen actively. This one gives some people some problems because they can't even listen passively. Avoid the trap of not listening. Mainly waiting for the person to shut up so that you can spout your pearls. You can say whatever it is that you have on your mind. As we listen, we all think ahead. And that is okay to do. But try to really listen to what your conversation partner is saying, noting what, if any, emotion is behind it. And that way, you are in a better position to empathize. You're in a better position to be really a part of that conversation. Because now you're actively listening. You can ask them things about things that they were saying and ask them why they say it that particular way versus another way. Recognize how they feel about a particular thing. You can get into it like that. Hey, cuz, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Listen, I saw your message earlier. I was supposed to get back to you. I do apologize. I love you, cuz. Thanks for checking in. Just like, let's see, but today, nowadays, Jamaicans are hostile, nothing like our parents' days or grandparents. Just like one of them in a discount store 5 months ago. 5 months ago, Pat, you remember this from 5 months ago? Very hostile. I told her to keep her Kingstonian attitude in Kingston and don't bring it here. Really? But we're going to have to work on that, all right? All right, we're gonna have to work on that. So ask questions. That's another one on the list here. How to develop a winning personality. Ask questions. Again, a corollary of the previous suggestion in listening. Be curious. Might there be a follow-up that you want to ask? Asking is flattering. And you might even learn something. And of course, in initiating conversation, you also could do worse than to begin with a question. So, an example. What are you thinking about these days? Or anything coming up that you're looking forward to? And later in the conversation, when you feel you can deepen it, you might ask, so do you have any regrets about something specific that they did? Or even about something they did in life generally. Things like that. And then there's this thing called the 30 to 50 rule. You ever heard about it? On average, you want to talk 30 to 50% of the time. Now, if both of you are talking 30 to 50% of the time, does the conversation stay full? Does it continue to flow? Is that how you get 100% of conversation? Because if you're talking 30 to 50% of the time, you're allowing the other person to talk 50 to 70% of the time. And if you're both allowing each other to talk 50 70% of the time, however, you're only giving 30% of the conversation, then there's going to be gaps. So how do you strike the balance? Is it, I guess that is how the listening part comes in. Actively listening. And so it will vary with how much you compared with the other person has how much you have to say on a particular topic. Also, a small percentage of people in some conversations or some situations would rather listen more than 70% of the time. In which case, you could even go to 80, but those situations are rare. It's those who don't talk a lot, it is difficult to get them to open up. But even they have that point in time where they just let it rip. And those who see them as being quiet would really look on and go, who is this person and what did you do to them? Use the traffic light rule. During the first 30 seconds of an utterance, your light is green. The person is listening, not waiting for you to shut up so that they can say something, nor thinking you're long-winded. During the next 30 seconds, your light is yellow. And at the 60-second mark, unless you're telling a compelling anecdote and see that your conversation partner is fully engaged, your light is red. Shut up or ask a question. Do one of the two. If the person wants to know more, then they can ask. So that's the stoplight rule, or the traffic light rule, I should say. I've never heard of it prior to this, but thanks to Psychology Today, I learned something new. And so did you, those of you who didn't know about it. You want to take a nuanced approach to interrupting. You know, you sometimes you have something that you want to say because something that was said is kind of burning an issue into the side of your head, and you want to know how to get in on that. You're one of the 30 to 50 people, Marlon, that often gives like 80% of listening time, that is. The often urged advice when it comes to taking a nuanced approach to interrupting: never interrupt lacks nuance. Default to not interrupting, yes. But long-winded people impose too much frustration to put up with. You have a right to get your needs met, and thus you have a right to interrupt. So because of long-windedness, or because you're afraid you'll forget the important thing you'd like to say, in a business meeting, you could just jot it down so you won't forget. But some people like an interruptive conversation style. Yeah, they want to be interrupted. And as such, they often know where exactly they are in the conversation. And you understand each other's points before they get finished. Yet another justification for interrupting is when your conversation partner knows they tend to be discursive and welcomes you reining them in. Some of them tell you beforehand, listen, I am one that will just talk all day, so feel free to interrupt me any which way you, at any point that you feel comfortable. I won't be offended by it. So those people know they talk a lot. Marlon says, I'm one of those people who, when you see me in conversation on the right topic with the right people, you might say, who's that? That is so true, Marlon. That is so true. Because you are that guy. Listen, people, you get Marlon started on, let's say, the production of Sling Ting rhythm. You get Marlon started on that. Let me tell you, he will go. And there are certain things when it comes to music history. You want to get Marlon, you want to meet the real Marlon, talk music history. That is when you get to meet the real Marlon. Outside of that, you'll get the quiet, reserved Marlon. And if you want to see him dance, just get some good reggae music going. Then you'll see Marlon dance. And get him in the company of the people that want to hear the stories of the music. Well, he won't do the two at the same time. No, you won't get him. He'll do one or the other. Use the 1 second pause. You know about 1 second pause? Well, most people welcome your pausing for a second before you respond. And that shows not only that you are polite in not interrupting, but that their statement or question is important enough to warrant reflection before you respond. And again, there are exceptions. Some people, indeed, some cultures like the New York Jews and the Israelis, they come to mind when talking about they prefer rapid fire exchanges. And there are times when in conversation, I like that. I like when, especially when it's witty comebacks, when we can be talking and immediately you have that witty comeback to something I just said, or if I can come up with a witty comeback to something you just said and you actually enjoy it. I just love those. I feel at that point that we're really connecting. Appropriately use physical touching. There are some people that just don't like to be touched, and there are some people that really like to touch. But appropriately use physical touch. And it can be a powerful and endearing thing to do. But with the hashtag #MeToo era that we live in today, men must be especially circumspect in deciding whether to touch a female or not. But even men are wise to as appropriate. You can clearly use non-sexual touching, like a 1-second touch to the forearm when offering reassurance. And try to use the tip of your fingers to don't stroke, just gently touch, just touch. Don't do the stroke thing, because boy, can be rough. It can be rough. The Me Too movement has it tough for us guys out there. All right, time for another quick little break. It's coming up. There's some more information that I want to touch on. So that is a few things on how to have a winning personality. There is keep your head in the clouds but your feet on the ground. There's learn to work a room. Do not so random acts of kindness, so you know exactly what it is that you're doing. Retain foundational authenticity. Yeah, be your true you. These are some of the things that you can do to have a winning personality. Keeping your head in the clouds and your feet on the ground is one of them that I want to touch on before we go on the break a little bit. People who frequently propose lofty, unrealistic ideas are often dismissed. On the other hand, relentless focus on the high probability practical is often seen as excessively sober. As with many things, a measure of balance is required. If you naturally default to big, it's potentially unrealistic. Ideas espouse them, but temper them by acknowledging challenges. If you naturally default to the pragmatic, it couldn't hurt to at least occasionally propose higher risk, but exciting new possibilities. Think about it. Keep your head in the clouds, but your feet on the ground. Just expand your horizons just a little bit. And you will actually end up developing a winning personality. And learn to work a room. Arrive early, scope out a person or a group that feels appealing, but aware of the tendency to focus on people of your own race, gender, and age. Approach the person or persons with an environmental commitment, not about climate change, but environmental about, within the meeting, within the room. And then ask a door opening question like, is this the first time at meetings like these, or have you heard of the speaker before? Then slowly deepen the conversation by responding to their statement with a bit of personal revelation, and by asking a question that might unearth something they care about, such as the ask questions that we've touched on before. So, do these little things, and they will help you to develop that winning personality. We're going to take another quick little break. Comment here. I always look vulnerable. I always look vulnerable. People think they can just shout at me, and this is where they get fooled. There's a school counselor filed charges against a 6-year-old child, claiming the child hugged her and had his hand on her breasts. So, parents, tell your children not to hug teachers, especially. It gets crazy. It really does. With this whole touching thing, Pat, it scares me because I'm a hugger, and I've had to teach people how to interact with others in a work setting. There was a whole thing when I worked at the Salvation Army. There was a whole thing called Safe from Harm, which actually taught you how to interact with people. That's what it boiled down to. But it was definitely to protect you and vulnerable adults and children. So everybody gets protected. And the how you interact, how you touch, how you are in a room with someone else, things like that. It's you learn to hug from the side. Not full-on hugs, unless it's someone that you're really familiar with. Little things like that. And even if you're going face-to-face to hug, it's a little bit off to the side at an angle to not appear, not to offend anybody else looking on, or that kind of a thing. But it really gets crazy, especially now with this Me Too movement thing. So the person that I'm guaranteed to get in trouble with somebody. And it's innocent on my part. They might be looking to get something from me, thinking that they can, but little do they know. We're going to take another quick little break. When we come back, we talk some more. Invite your friends to be a part of this conversation. Marlon, there are some circles that you don't need a whole lot of coaxing. When we hang out, some music and boom, you're off to the races. Just like at Joanna's wedding. Yeah, that's how we roll, though. That's how we roll. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Matthew 28:19 says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations." With this in mind and encouragement received during a South Florida media conference, The Church Links was birthed. The Church Links is an interdenominational worship service portal for churches, providing the tools to spread the word through technology in a cost-effective way. The Church Links, www.dahchurchlinx.com. Your links to worship and praise.
Making great music is one thing, sharing it with the world, that's another. Let the professionals at Reggae Global Entertainment help you to another level. Specializing in artist management, booking, public relations and marketing, and promotion, Reggae Global Entertainment can help you with event planning, websites, photography, and video production, press releases, legal services, and graphic design. They can even help you with music production, so you can get the sound that you want every time. Call Reggae Global Entertainment at 954-804-8199. That's 804-8199. Or visit them online at reggaeglobalentertainment.com.
MRE Entertainment, in association with VPAL Distribution, presents the brand new hit single.
I'm Robert French, and you're listening to my new song, Every Day of My Life.
Now available on all major digital platforms.
Every day of my life will be just loving you. Spend the rest of my life always just loving you. Every day of my life will be just loving you. Spend the rest of my life.
When being in the moment is priceless, consider the ability to share that moment. If you can video it, you can broadcast it. And Pulse E-Media Group has the tools you need. Weddings, birthdays, funerals, graduations, church services, parties, seminars, you name it.
Pulse E-Media Group can provide you with a secure medium controlled by you to broadcast your event. Contact us at www.pulseemediagroup.com for more information. Pulse E-Media Group, when being in the moment is priceless.
Yes. Akar Mantino, I'm making notes right now. You are locked in to DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift.
Well, I was born as a brilliant child. I never knew what the future holds for me. I can't count all the tears that fall, all the struggles though I worked so hard. I never knew where the day would come when I rise from the ghetto and the slum. Now I'm seeing the rising sun. Now the glitters and the riches can't done, 'cause I'm a winner. I was born as a star. I don't need no one. Tell me who I am. Many try to tear me down. They wanna see me on the ground. But each time they set their trap, they just push me further to the top. 'Cause I'm a winner. I was born as a star. I don't need no one to tell me who I am. I'm a winner. I was born as a star. I don't need no one. Tell me who I am. Let me tell you about my life. Long before my kids and wife, how I grew from rags to riches. Didn't come by sudden flight. I had to burn the midnight lamp when my friends and my foes them around. Education, my mom used to say, so sad she had passed away. I had to push myself through school. One shirt, one pants and shoes. Now the rest is history. I'm all that a man can be, 'cause I'm a winner. I was born as a star. I don't need no one to tell me who I am. Yes, I'm a winner. I was born as a star. I don't need no one to tell me who I am.
I want to welcome you back from the break. The sound of West Rock bringing us back. A track called Born as a Winner. I was born as a hugger.
Try to tear me down. They wanna see me on the ground.
So let me tell y'all from now.
They set their trap. They just push me further to the top.
If I don't like you,
I was born as
I won't talk to you at all.
I don't need no.
I'll be professional. But if I'm cool with you, you get a hug.
I'm a winner.
Just so that you know, nothing more in it. It's just I'm a hugger. That's just me. All right, so that is how you end up being having or developing a winning personality. But there's also the lovable person. And so you have to ask the question, what makes people lovable? Now, funny enough, there are some things that will actually make you instantly lovable, according to medium.com. Instantly. It's like, boom, you do them and automatically you're lovable. If you're genuinely interested in a conversation, remember we talked about being an active listener, having eye contact, certain things, certain key things that made you made you have a winning personality. These are some of the same things that make you lovable. So you're genuinely interested in a conversation. One of the most frustrating things is when you're talking to someone and they start up another conversation with another person, or they start doing something, fidgeting on their phones or something, and not being a part of the conversation, not being present at all. That can be annoying. So when someone is venting, sometimes all they need is an open ear to pour their words into. And to go even further, you can actively show how you're listening. Don't go on your phone. Copy their body language. Nod, say or yes every now and then. These little things help. You know, they say being genuinely interested is a sign of a good listener. And the penguins from Madagascar got it partially right. They have a smile and a wave as a start. You can see it in your mind, right? If you smile, that is another one. Makes you instantly lovable. The writer here says, if I had £1 for every time someone asked me what was wrong when I'm minding my own business, well, I'd have a lot of money. And if you're like me, the writer says, and have a resting bee face, it can come across the wrong way, even if you don't mean to. So, you know, you want to toss a smile in the mix. And this helps you to be a lovable person. Now, smiling is one of those things that is infectious. So, if you're just walking along and you just try it, social experiment, just go along and just look at a random person and just smile. If you're in New York, you might have a problem with this. I think they're immune to it in New York, right, Pat? But smiling is said to be infectious. So if you smile at someone, more often than not, they will smile back. Even if they put on a plastic smile, they will smile back. They say take a leaf out of Usain Bolt's book. He was in the most pressured of situations, yet he is always smiling when no one else in the world would. He became a lovable, larger-than-life figure. Of course, his records will be remembered, but so will his personality. Sometimes it pays to smile more. Just smile. And you'd be amazed at the kind of responses you get. Now, in typically serious scenarios, add some emotion into your face. Interviewers have mentioned that the writer here needed a little bit more energy in the past. And it can be easy to let the seriousness of a situation reflect in your face. So even with job interviews, yes, they're serious, but, you know, put a little smile on your face, you know, ease a little bit of the tension, because they too want to know you can handle yourself in a high pressure situation. Think about that. If you follow up with someone, these are some of the things that can help to make you a lovable person. Following up with someone is a true sign that you care. It is easy to say you need to talk to someone more, but the real test comes when your brain tries to forget what you said. Asking someone if they're okay and they told you something that hurt them, this makes you a more trustworthy person. As with any relationship, the little things matter the most. Think of it like drunk plans. You have a few beers and all of a sudden you're planning your next trip away. The plan is really set into motion when someone follows up afterwards. So here's an action tip. You don't need to make a grand gesture. How are things with, and you refer to that thing that you spoke about or that person that you spoke about on a previous occasion. And it's as simple as that. Or, and are you okay? I remember some time ago you mentioned, are you okay now? Things like that. These little things show you care and they go a long way. If you admit when you're wrong, okay, so this is where you put on your adult underwear. You admit you are wrong. It's like one of the hardest things for people to do ever. The writer says, my dad and I are very stubborn people. He'll scold me for leaving a plate out, but won't back down when he leaves his clothes on the sofa. It's a back and forth that usually ends up in a petty squabble and mostly harmless punch to the arm. Mostly. Okay, so they beat up on each other. That's cool, you know, if that's the kind of relationship that they want to have, then that's fine. That's their thing. They do that. So essentially, we don't like admitting we are wrong. It's an abrasive way of looking at things, and not a very lovable one either. It takes a lot of courage to admit you are wrong. Courage which will endear you to your loved ones. So go ahead and take the L. You know, you can't always have the W's. Take the L. And sometimes that L stands for love and being lovable. So before you fly off in a bit of rage defending yourself, ask if the ensuing argument is worth the hassle. It likely isn't. And a bit of calm can help you see the error of your ways. So just take it easy. You also want to know how to give a compliment. This can make you into an instant lovable person. Know how to give a compliment. Now, people like to be complimented. Telling someone you like something about them shows you take notice. And with very little effort, you have endeared yourself to them. Just by giving them a compliment. And make it authentic. Giving a compliment will make you, the individual, feel good also. So not only are you more lovable in the person receiving the compliment's eyes, but your self-perception becomes more rose-tinted also. Yeah? Know how to receive a compliment also. So it's all good and well that you know how to give it, but know how to receive it. It is easy to just, knock it off, swat away a compliment. Easy, real easy. But followed by something that you think could have done better. Some people do that. One person got congratulated for a dissertation grade, but they've always felt that they could have done better, so they downplayed their compliments. Things like that. It happens. Writer says, until recently, I hadn't considered how it makes the other person feel when they do things like that. If giving a compliment makes someone feel good, then they'll feel bad when you toss it away. So, know how to receive a compliment. When someone compliments you, say thank you. Smile. Bask in the praise, and everyone is happy. You get a compliment, you get to feel good. They get to feel good that they gave you a compliment. They get to feel good that they gave you a compliment, and you liked it. See, it's a win-win for everybody. So learn how to receive a compliment. You can laugh at yourself. Now, if you're one that can make fun of people, if you can laugh at yourself, then you're a good one. The writer says, once every few months, my friends and I have remember when style conversation. We spend hours listing the vast array of stupid, very funny things we did during our time at school. Eventually, we land on my experience of playing cricket. Now, those of you who don't know what cricket is, you can look it up. It's not the insect. It's sports played in Europe and the Caribbean. Less so in the US, but more so by people from Europe and the Caribbean that have migrated to the US. Now, eventually, we land on my experience of playing cricket. I was up to bat and practically shaking with nerves. The bowler chucked the ball at me. I swung it. I swung far too hard, brought the bat around, and hit my stumps. I out myself. It was stupid. I got sucked. It was stupid and I sucked, but it made funnier. It's made funnier because I find it hilarious also. Sometimes it is better to let go and laugh at yourself rather than to take a defiant stand. It shows you don't take yourself too seriously and people can have fun with you. These are some of the things that make people really lovable. Now, if you don't want people to talk about something, go ahead and laugh with them. They'll have their fun and it will soon be forgotten about. There's less drama, there's fewer worries, and boom, it's gone. You frown about it and they find it funny, they're going to hold on to it a little bit longer. Strange, but true. Brad says, I love a good laugh. I'm a playful person, but only with certain people. I don't play with everyone. Some people will even call me mischievous. And they're right. I call you mischievous, Pat. I do. I really do. Sometimes people mistakenly think you're cold when you don't smile, but some people smile, their smile is false. And I don't like fake smiles. But listen, Pat, take it. It's a win. Because they are trying to put a better foot forward. So just take it as a win. Smile back. Let your smile be genuine. Here's the thing. They give you a fake smile, you give a genuine smile. Their smile will end up turning into a real smile because of your genuine smile. It's contagious. It's like a yawn. You start yawning on the train, what happens? Everybody will start yawning too. So go ahead and take that fake smile and then give them your genuine smile. Yeah, because I understand you would laugh at yourself quite a bit. It's a family thing because I do it. But then, I'm a real clown anyway. So I should. I'm not. Okay, so not everybody in the family is a clown, but I am. Social workers are a waste of time and money. Why do you say that, Pat? We all do a little bit of social work in our own little way. Once we're interacting with others, it's a little bit of social work. Because the empathy and the care that we give to others, it's social work. Now, those that get paid to do things like that kind of social work, they have it tough. So we need to be especially kind and especially loving and caring towards those kinds of social workers. Yeah? So, to wrap this up in a neat little bow, being a lovable person is done through micro actions. You appear more trustworthy and caring, which makes you more approachable. You can build relationships quicker and help them last longer. Plus, it is difficult and it takes a small understanding of social skills. So put on that smile because people will love you for it. And guess what? There are some personality types that make the best romantic partners. So which ones would those be? Those would be the ones with low neuroticism, according to Psychology Today. The strongest personality predictor of greater relationship satisfaction was low neuroticism. And this is defined as a tendency to experience negative emotional states. So that's when you're being neurotic? Yeah. High neuroticism is associated with things like depression, impulsiveness, and hostility. So people with low neuroticism don't tend to be easily upset and can recover relatively quickly from difficult emotions like anger and sadness. They aren't often overwhelmed by anxiety and are able to experience a lot of happiness and contentment. People who have high agreeableness, and that is one of the worst words in the English language, if you ask me. People high on the trait of agreeableness are easy to get along with. Now, not to say that you need to be agreeing with everything and everyone, but the agreeable partners maintain several strong, healthy friendships, and their past romantic relationships ended relatively amicably. Okay, I guess I fall in that category because I'm friends with majority of my exes. They aren't easily upset with you, and you don't feel like you're walking on eggshells around them. They tend to prefer to avoid arguments and conflict and rarely seem to take things the wrong way. If they do experience jealousy in relationships, they can express it calmly and constructively. Listen, expressing jealousy in a relationship is something that it's a skill that you have to develop. Not everyone, you don't just get up and say you can do that. Because first you have to recognize the jealousy and then recognize why you're jealous. And then with doing that, you can express it constructively, calmly. And then you can grow from it. Not everybody can do that, and that's a learned skill. I hold true to that. I had to learn it. High extroversion. Partners of extroverts report more relationship satisfaction, on average, than those who are introverts. Extroverts feel energized by the company of others and generally prefer to be with other people rather than being alone. Introverts, on the other hand, are more comfortable by themselves and feel depleted by social encounters, even if they enjoy them. Highly introverted people tend to be reserved, emotionally cool, and struggle with assertiveness. So, what do you look for? An extroverted partner prefers to go out versus staying in all the time, and social comments often leave them feeling energized and alive. They probably don't need more time by themselves than you do, unless you're even more an extrovert than they are. Then you have those with high conscientiousness. Now, a highly conscientious partner is dutiful and responsible and consistently fulfills their commitments. They do what they say they will. They pay their bills on time, they show up on time, they take care of their belongings. And conversely, those who are low on conscientiousness tend to be careless and underachieving and irresponsible. A highly conscientious partner washes dishes right away instead of letting them pile up in the sink, and doesn't blow off commitments or miss deadlines. They're rarely late for appointments or dates, and have a good reason if they are, and they don't tend to misplace things. These patterns of findings were consistent across married and unmarried couples, and held for both male and female partners in heterosexual relationships. Now, more research is needed to determine if these results generalize to same-sex couples, but in as it is related to the heterosexual relationships, these are some of the findings. Now, by themselves, it is not to say that any of these traits definitely lead to a more satisfactory relationship, but having a combination of them definitely will help. Not to mention staying positive. So these are typically the people who are best romantic partners. The ones with low neuroticism, the ones with high agreeableness, high extroversion, high conscientiousness. When you blend those well, though, when you complement each other, that makes for the relationship to be great, because you can't all be the same. Then you don't get to feed off each other. And I'm big on that. They're your givers and your takers. And it's funny, people tend to frown on things like that. But that's how our society works. You have those that love to give and they live to give. And then you have those that live to take. Now, I probably should differentiate here. You have your takers and you have your receivers. Those who appreciate receiving will recognize those who appreciate giving, or as I like to say, appreciate love doing it. And people like Pat. Yeah, I see where you say you're a giver, Pat. Yes, you give me an update on the nice food that you make all the time, although I never can get any of the nice food that you make. But of course, I understand. There's a little bit of distance between us, about 3,000 miles worth of it. But, at least you give me an update. And I appreciate love that. So as you continue to give, I'll continue to receive it. And I'll live vicariously through your images and text messages of that lovely food that you tend to make. In truth and in fact, it makes me feel that much closer to you, Pat. Thank you. This is where we get started with our musical therapy for tonight. And we kick it off with the birthday girl. Happy Earth Day to Marcia J. Ball.
Every time you are near.
I hope you all enjoyed this round of Real Talk tonight. Looking at winning and lovable personalities. Where do you fall in the mix? Do you have that winning personality? Are you lovable? And with having these traits, does it make you that much better a partner in relationships? Let me know. The son of Marcia J. Ball.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Why do stars fall down from the sky every time? Just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkled my dust in your hair, a black and starlight in your eyes, a brown, your brown eyes. That is why all the girls in town follow you, follow around. Just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkled more dust in your hair, a black and starlight in your eyes, a brown. That's why all the girls in town follow you, follow.
What do you mean, Pat? I'm very lovable.
Just like me, they long to be close to you. Just like me, they long to
take you there.
This is Peter G working out with Novelty.
Hold you till it hurts. Love you more.
It's called Let Me Please You. Brand new music from them.
It's no secret how we feel about each other. Let's make sweet music, you and me together.
Let me whisper sweet lyrics in your ear. Let me do the things you like. Let me take you there. Let me please you. Take you to a place
you've never been before.
Let me take you there. Let me hold you till it hurts.
Love you more and more, and show you how I care. Come with me to ecstasy. I will show you out. Let's make it happen for you and me. The time is here and now.
No, you've been holding me.
It's true, Pat. It's very true.
So tonight, baby, I wanna do nice things to you. Let me please you. Take you to a place
you've never been
before. Let me take you there. Let me hold you.
Bald men can be very mischievous.
And show you how I care.
Ooh, let me hold you. Let me please you, girl. Let me, just let me. It's no secret how we feel.
This is Son of Empress Unique. A track called I'll Always Love You.
I gave you life, you brought me joy. I love you more than you ever know. I live for you, I'll sacrifice to guide and provide, give you a better life. In my heart forever, I'll never let you go. Never let you go. I'll never let you go. Never let you go. In my heart forever, I'll never let you go. Never let you go. I'll never let you go. Never let you go. You know what I do. I'll always love you. You know what I do, yeah. I'll always love you. All that I can now will do for you. The rest of your journey is up to you. Whatever you have to face as you go on, my love will be a shelter from the storm. In my heart forever, I'll never let you go. Never let you go. I'll never let you go. Never let you go. In my heart forever, I'll never let you go. Never let you go. I'll never let you go. Never let you go. You know that I do, yeah. I'll always love you. You know that I do, yeah. I'll always love you. You're my best friend. I'm gonna tell my friends about you.
Really? What are you gonna tell them?
Tell them about the things that you do to me.
Really? What else are you gonna tell them?
Tell them you're my best boy and the best you'll always be. You are
I can work with that. I can understand.
everything that's good, so good to me.
And you know I am too.
I wanna be always close.
So name is Joanna Marie. Jack called My Best Boy.
This is Joanna Marie, and it's all about DJ Kevin Stew on the night shift. You feel for some stew? Check out Kevin Stew.
Ooh, baby, you're the best. You're my best boy. I'm gonna tell my friends about you. Tell them about the things that you do to me. Tell them you're my best boy and the best you'll always be. You'll always be. Tell them you're everything that's good, so good to me. Always be. I wanna be always close to you. To give a helping hand if ever you're in need. I want to be always so close to you. To you, yeah. Don't have to try you out for size. You fit my heart, comfortable and warm. Without you, what would life be? Tell them you're my best boy and the best you'll always be. You'll always be. I wanna be always close to you. To give a helping hand if ever you're in need. I want to be always so close to you. To you, yeah. Oh, baby, you're the best. You're the best. I wanna be always close to you. To give a helping hand if ever you're in need. I wanna be always so close to you. To you.
What about love, 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 love? What about love, love?
This is the sound of New York's only Red Fox.
What about love, 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 love?
Yeah, man, the Brooklyn guy.
What about love, 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 love? Sweet love.
Yeah, man, New York claiming, you know.
For every little thing.
Track is called What About Love.
Getting out to love each other.
Oh, yeah.
Love life, that's all I'm gonna sing. 'Cause war is not the answer.
Oh, no.
Even though at times it seems so hard. Think slow, nothing not wanna yard. Man broke, can't find no food to ride. But we not go kill my brother. Yes, we are go still love the sister. Love, 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 love. What about love, love, love? Sweet love. What about love, 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 love? What about love, love, love? Sweet love. Work on a positive vibes and then go from your negative strides. Remember me, I tell you more life. So that's the way your guns are united. Now we all were made of us. Yes, one blood, one love. Here, we break in touch. Hey, we slap my guts. So make we burn it up. Spread up and stir it up. Here, this modesty. Pressure and work with us. You're looking so serious. Like smiling up pretty with us. Acting so devious. But man, clean it up. Cleanse you and free it up. Man, it's not keep it up. One life full of vanity. And you're seal it up. I love, 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 love. What about love, love?
This is the sound of Maurice Gregory. A track called What a Feeling.
I'm aching just to be right next to you.
And what a feeling that is.
Truth, I've never felt nothing like this. I'm just losing myself. This feeling is growing stronger. Hey, I know you waited for a long time. I'm waiting for you to be mine. What a feeling, what a feeling. Hey, I know you waited for a long time. I'm waiting for you to be mine. What a feeling, what a feeling. I'm stalling. I'm savoring each moment, oh my darling. I feel I'm levitating while I'm falling. Oh, I keep falling for you, only you. Truth, I've never felt nothing like this. Am I just losing myself? This feeling keeps growing stronger. Hey, I know you waited for a long time. I'm waiting for you to be mine. What a feeling, what a feeling. Hey, I know you waited for a long time. I'm waiting for you to be mine. What a feeling, what a feeling. Oh gosh, it's basic. When you find the one for you, embrace it. Cause time is of the essence, so don't waste it. You shouldn't waste it. No more, no more. Truth, I've never felt nothing like this. Am I just losing myself? This feeling keeps growing stronger. Never find nobody like you, like you, like you. What a feeling, what a feeling. Never find nobody like you. I know you waited for a long time. I'm waiting for you to be mine. What a feeling, what a feeling. Never find nobody like you.
Your softness comfort me through all this madness.
This is the sound of Sadiki working on to the terrific one. Twiki. The rendition of With You I'm Born Again.
Through this
son of N Rose. Track called All the Love.
Damage to my pride. My love was only a young love. It might have given real love. Can't you see I'm ready now for the love? But what more should give to me? Darling, you've been patient. Baby, you wait oh so long. You can bet I'll make up. For love, I challenge you thought wrong. And now I feel like a woman, covering all that you needed, baby. I'm ready now for the love, but what much you give to me? Please forgive this girl. No, she wasn't sure that you loved her. Accept my gift of love. Maybe please forgive me. Maybe let me stay by your side. And anytime you want me, you can bet I'll never hide. No, darling, I'm all for the asking. Always on call everlasting. I'm ready now for the love that a woman should get to a man. I'm ready now.
Now I got you crying, lady, doing what I shouldn't have. I knew I had your heart in a plate, even though it's you I love. I don't know why I do these strange things, knowing what is gonna come. I'm either immature or crazy, or maybe I'm just really dumb.
DJ Kevin
Trouble
Stew,
is-
all manners and respect is due, cause you are carry the music and the culture right through. Big up yourself, Cesar says so. Bless.
We rock it when we rock it and we steady when we steady, oh. It says again. Now I got you crying, lady, doing what I shouldn't have. I knew I had your heart in a plate, even though it's you I love. I don't know why I do these strange things, knowing what is gonna come. I'm either immature or crazy, or maybe I'm just really dumb. But trouble, it has found me again, and now I know I'm losing a friend. A lover who I know should have been so much more. No, why do I do this to myself? Who I may never find someone else. Maybe I'm just scared of commitment, but I don't wanna be alone. But when I know that I'm falling, I try to find a way of letting go. 'Cause I won't lose control. You may try to hold my hand, but you can't hold my heart.
The son of Cesar. Track called Can't Hold My Heart. His latest release. One want to thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for closing out the night shift with me right here in Musical Therapy. As we part company, I encourage you to look out for members of your community. Remember, your community is not just the development that you live in, but it spreads far and wide. Those that you pass on the bus, the plane, the boat, or the train, whether they walk, ride, or drive. These are members of your community. Do something good for one of them today, because you never know who's going to do something good for you tomorrow. My name is Kevin Stew. This is how I like to do it to you, for you, and with you every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here, kevinstew.com.
Maybe I'm just scared of commitment.
Do join me on Saturday, all things being well. What we do the Saturday Stew. Reggae Global Radio, 8 p.m. Eastern. Good morning, good afternoon, good day to you. Wherever you are in the world, from right here in South Florida, I bid you all a good night. Take care of yourselves. Be good. But if you can't be good at it. Until we meet again, y'all take care of yourselves. Enough love.
Greetings and salutations, one and all. You're invited to tune in to the night shift with DJ Kevin Stew. It airs on Mondays with Community and Finance, Tuesdays with Healthy Love, and Wednesdays with Real Talk from 10 p.m. to midnight Eastern Time. Come spend some time interacting in the stew pot where we keep things bubbling and wind down in musical therapy. The night shift with DJ Kevin Stew is on kevinstew.com, where you're encouraged to have acceptance through enlightenment.